Good evening, guys. My name is Robert Suto, also known as Invictus Trader. I want to make a quick video recap of what I believe is going to take place in the next few weeks. I've been getting a lot of messages from a few members in my Discord group asking me what's going on, where do I see price going. So I figured this kind of kill everything with one stone and allow me the opportunity to kind of describe to you guys what I see in the next coming weeks. With that said, it's important to remember that all of this is for educational purposes. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Do not risk money you cannot afford to lose. And trading is risky and not suitable for anybody. I am not a professional. I'm not a financial advisor. This is all speculative and for entertainment purposes only. So, how I trade predominantly is I take a top-down analysis of what I see taking place in the market. I start with the 6-month volume profile, and I'll go all the way down to a 10-minute, 15-minute chart. I utilize market profile as well and the depth of market to gauge possible resistance support levels. With that said, let's dive into the charts. I want to take a quick look at the 6-month volume profile. If you guys take a look exactly where price is right now, we're around 59.11, made a high today at 59.1850. We are currently above the previous session high of 58.30, and right now we are above 58.0875. Sorry as I toggle between the cursors here. So price keeps migrating higher. The volume kind of is tapering a little lower as we go higher on the volume profile. So that's kind of a quick cause of a concern, a red flag for me. Question is, how much higher can the buyers go? Where is going to be a strong reversal point? And are we going to be able to render back price back into balance and possibly hit the point of control? So right now, bulls are still in solid control as we continue higher, 59.1850, but we are at a complete premium level. Price is starting to get expensive. We're trading higher, but the question is, how much higher can we go? As we take a look at the monthly volume profile, illustrates something similar that we've seen on a 6-month. Prices above previous session high and also previous volume profile, value area high. 58.30 seems to be an important area to note. Definitely mark that down for future reference. But right now, as price continues to move higher, we are trending higher. All right, let's look at the monthly chart. So I want to kind of pause and kind of focus my attention on this particular chart, but not only on this chart, also NQ. I think there's a lot of valuable information to take from this, and I'll try to break it down in a manner that I understand it and how I interpret it. With that said, July all-time high is very important price level. We experienced an all-time high in July, but subsequently after that, the market in the ES pulled back about 10.4% for the whole entire month of August. So that is a significant pushback. Generally for me, when I see a 3% pullback, it's a pause in the trend. 6% pullback indicates that we have a trend reversal. So for the month of August, all the way from the July all-time high, we saw a 10.4% pullback. In addition to that, the whole entire month of August retraced that pullback. September, we saw a bullish candle pushing higher, and now we continue to push higher with the October candle pulling away about 2.4% away from the July all-time high. So right now, the ES, without a doubt, you cannot dispute it. Bulls are in control. Money's moving in. We're making a new all-time high. But as the ES and the Dow is making new all-time highs, the NQ, which I believe is the canary in the coal mine in this instance, is not. As you can see right here, the July all-time high puts it at 21, 219.45, give or take. The whole entire month of August, the NQ pullback a total of 17%, give or take, and that's pretty substantial pullback. As we look at that, the whole entire time through September and October now, the ES has been, not the ES, the NQ has been struggling to get back above 6%, get back above 3%. And today we finally were able to kind of peak above and close above the 3% pullback from the July all-time high. The NQ is yet to even test that all-time high. And question is, are we even going to be able to get up there? To me, I'm looking at this as possible divergence, was a strong divergence, but also a red flag. Question is risky assets and it's smart money moving back into risky assets. From the NQ, we're not seeing that happen. The Dow and the ES are making new all-time highs, but question is for how long? If the NQ is not able to reach the July all-time high and kind of break away from that and continue higher, I believe ultimately we're probably going to have a blow-off top in the ES and a possible reversal. But that's just my 2 cents in that perspective. But definitely something to kind of look at. Kind of going back and forth between the ES and the NQ, you can see there's a big divergence and a possible red flag moving forward. All right, weekly recap. As you can see, we're having a P formation on the profile here for the week. Not much in the perspective of disputing the buyers. Value area high, value area low, 58.94. Value area high, 49.14. Point of control for the week is at 59.09. And a period high is at 59.18. That right there continues to push higher. Bulls are in solid control. In order to even get remotely back to a possible reversal, buyers will definitely have to defend 58.63 if sellers are even able to get control. Pull back in the previous point of control from the previous week, the VPOC at 58.31.25, and attack value area low at 57.86.75. Until that happens, don't anticipate the bulls to give this up. It seems that they have a target in mind, and I believe as we move forward, I'll show you guys where I believe price is going to possibly go to. All right, as we look at the weekly chart, we see that 57.62.52 was a pivotal area. That was a gap over there that we had from 57.04. We had 2 strong tail wicks, and buyers were just defending that area aggressively, not letting price get into this gap fill. Right now, again, we are on a solid trend up, and the question now remains, how much further higher can we go? As price is migrating higher, we see that volume is kind of tapering lower. As you can see, we have a big divergence over there. In addition to that, on RSI, we also have a divergence on the daily from price. As it continues to make a new all-time high, the RSI is making a new low. But the volume right now just is not indicative of a strong move. We don't see that. We see weak volume pushing price up. Does it new money? Possibly not. I think there's just old money. But the fact is, we don't have new aggressive buyers moving in. Right now, on a pivots, I want to shift your attention to 59.44. That's going to be the first very strong area of resistance slash support. Let's see if buyers are able to break above that and create that area into support, or if sellers are able to kind of take control and possibly balance out this move up or even pull it back. All right here is another important target that I want to kind of shift your eyes to, and also this particular ascending channel we have. Off the first quarter high and second quarter low, I was able to kind of draw a channel. You see we respected it one time prior to pullback that we experienced over here back in July. And then from July, we hit the 200 EMA, and price has been migrating higher. Right now, we're above the 50% area of this channel. Again, R1 at 59.44 and R2 at 60.74 possible targets. As we look over here, the 50% is being respected pretty well. It was prior support, turned into resistance, and now back to support as price continues higher. As we look at this, I want to kind of shift your eyes over to these particular months. As we continued higher, we were above anchored VWAP for the month. July showed us 2 months of pullback and price trending below the anchor VWAP. And again, for the last couple of months, going into a third month now, we're back above anchor VWAP. This kind of shows me an ABCD pattern. It's kind of indicative of that, is what I could see as we push higher. And again, in this particular chart, it shows me that the possibility of the top of the channel right here being a good area for possible resistance for the sellers could be possible target. We saw it in the past right here. So let's see if we reach the top of the channel, if buyers aggressively break that area to kind of create a blow off top, or is this area going to be respected, moving price back below the R2, or even possible back into the 50 area, or even deeper into the opposite end around back to 57.25. Real quick, let's see if we could put some anchor VWAPs on this area. I utilize anchor VWAPs aggressively. It kind of gives me an opportunity to see what future resistance support is. So if we go off the Q1 low, you can see we respect that area pretty well. Let's go off of the July, August low off the 200 EMA. Again, 56.61 could be an area of support as well. And again, let's see if we go off to that area. So again, under 57.25, there seems to be a lot of support. That area breaks, we could see buyers definitely getting stopped out aggressively and sellers back in control. But right now, I just don't see anything going on. The buyers are in solid control, and let's see how we deal with the top end of the channel. As we continue with the daily charts, we have an ascending wedge. As you can see, we try to break that ascending wedge, but buyers pushing it back up in there. Right now, I'm kind of looking to see, are they able to break above this top line of the ascending wedge and able to get any traction as we continue higher. Right now, like I said, I keep repeating myself, buyers are in solid control. This is off the weekly chart, and that RSI again is evident that we could continue to get divergence. As price makes a new high, RSI is making a new low. So it's definitely something to be noting over here. Real money, is real money moving in? Is aggressive buyers moving in? And do you see this being a sustainable bullish trend? I don't believe so. I believe smart money's already out. NQ has proven that. Right now, I believe it's just trying to sucker in as many people as we can into believing this is going to continue higher for a bullish run. November elections are roughly 21 days away, and I think as we continue to move higher into the elections, it's going to be challenging to continue this trend higher. All right, another kind of important level to look at, we have the, let's see, daily January anchor VWAP off 2024. Off that in particular area, we have the standard deviation lines, and right now we are at the third, breaking to the second, heading for the third. I believe one other time we hit the third standard deviation, that was back in 2023. I'll have to go back and look at my charts. But again, the third standard deviation is a very important area to look at. That runs it up around the 6100 area. So let's see how price reacts as we migrate through the second standard deviation going towards the third. If buyers are able to hit that area, can they hold it? Can they sustain a break above that area? And if sellers do manage to take control, how aggressive are they taking price back to anchor VWAP? All right. As we move here, the 8-hour chart. I utilize this predominantly with the volume profile in the background. As you can see, it gives you a good illustration of how price is behaving around value or around the volume profile. Right now, we have a multi-week or 3-week balance area that we are sustained. We broke out of that balance area, and right now, as you can see, price is migrating up. Again, 58.63.25 is an important level to note. Right now, price is above that 58.63.25. The question is, can sellers take control and move price back towards VPOC at 58.31.25? If that area holds, 57.75 would be another great opportunity to see if price is able to retrace back over there and possible rotation, or can we get on the opposite end of this megaphone pattern that we see right here, and that possible opposite end of balance over here would be 56.97.75. Right now, price is kind of hitting a small amount of resistance here at 59.19 area. Again, are buyers able to break, or are sellers able to take control and move price back towards the point of control? All right, guys, another very important chart I kind of tend to look at is the 4-hour chart, but in addition to that is the anchor VWAP with the 3 standard deviation lines off the 4-hour chart. As you can see, we've rotated a few times up and down at the beginning of this month around that anchor VWAP. As we did that, right now price was able to kind of hold above anchor VWAP for the month and then just run with it. Buyers are in solid control. We are on the 3rd standard deviation right now, but generally this is an opportunity for going long. A lot of people view this top of the Bollinger Band, top of the anchor VWAP as an area to short. I would actually counter that and say you want to buy into strength as price keeps touching that. People are shorting, but bulls are going to continue pushing higher as they go into that area. Another next level that I'm looking at right now is the previous month's third standard deviation line at around 59.73. As you can see, we broke through the standard through the second one, and right now the third one is going to be another area of interest, 59.73, and we'll see how price behaves around that zone. That will put it well above the pivots at 59.40 area for the month, but again, right now bulls are in solid control. 58.71 was broken. I want to see that area, if sellers are able to pull back, turn into support, and then continuation higher for buyers. All right, guys, I want to shift your attention again to a very important chart that I'm kind of taking a look at. I'm going to spend a little bit of time trying to explain what I see and how I interpret this 1 hour chart. We had a previous all-time high here at 58.30 area, give or take. Not far payroll week saw price aggressively move down that Tuesday, and I believe October 2nd, creating a low, which subsequently after that created a range where we saw kind of price migrate back and forth. So that range is what was kind of important to me, around the 57.20 area, 22 area, up the way to 57.70. That range right there was battled and contested aggressively back and forth. As we had non-farm payroll, sellers weren't able to really break below that, and buyers defended aggressively that 57.25 area, let's say. Going into CPI, buyers again were able to regain control, pop it out of the range, and then that Tuesday, October 8th, that low at 57.25 was made in the overnight session. So that kind of started this whole entire trend higher. The October 2 low was never reached and it was defended, and then that overnight low was aggressively bought up in the overnight session. And that to me right there, those two reference points, October 2nd low and then October 8th low, I'm annotating on my charts for future reference. That area, if that area breaks, there's going to be a lot of resting stops below there. But again, October 7th through the 18th, that was CPI and PPI. That made two new all-time highs. The market was able to break above 58.30, and as we can see, we just kept going higher and higher, ultimately hitting that 200% or 2 standard deviation move. Right now, it's going to be important to see if buyers are able to break above 59.19, or are they going to pull it back, price back to at least the 1 standard deviation line around 58.50 and kind of create a balance zone over there and bring in more volume and more buyers. If that area fails, the 58.50, then I'll be looking again for 58.30 to possibly hold price back. But again, right now, the EMAs are moving up. The 200 EMA is moving up with price, and the 21 EMA and the 50 EMA as well. I believe ultimately the 58.50 area could provide the strongest area of support for buyers. In closing, you guys, I want to focus again on some important price levels. On the buy side, 59.19, 59.40, 59.70, 6,000, 6,100, and even as high as 6,400. Question now moving forward is, are buyers able to do a good job at gaining ground, but most importantly, defending that ground that they gain? Especially as we get around 6,100 at third standard deviation on the daily January anchor VWAP from the beginning of the year. Question is, how good of a job are buyers able to do and sustain that ground? On the sell side in the short term, 58.85, 58.50, 5800, and 57.22 are going to be important levels, especially 57.22. There's a lot of resting stops below that. We are 21 days away from the election, so moving forward, you should definitely look at, can price in the ES go higher? Can buyers get their price above 6,000? Can they hold price above 6,000? And can the NQ, the proverbial canary in the coal mine now, is that able to get above the all-time high from July? Question is, I don't believe it will, but if it does, can it get above there? Can it hold it? If it's not, is it going to dump? And it's also important to realize, especially now that the market can remain rational longer than we can remain solvent. I realize that these past 2 weeks has been very challenging. I also have had a challenging time as I was looking at the negative CPI, and I have to kind of take a step back and remind myself that, you know, the news is just there to get you emotional. It's not there to give you any information. It's just there to create liquidity, get you on the wrong side of the trade, and then in turn blow up your accounts. So it's important to kind of forget about the news. Remember, guys, we are competing against some of the most talented, smartest, PhD-seeking individuals, hedge funds, traders. So it's important to kind of develop your edge, but but most importantly, take your time, be patient, and just realize that you don't want to become the food for somebody else. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes perseverance, but most importantly, it's going to take a lot of commitment from you guys to just kind of take your time, be patient, and just work on your edge. In addition to that, we're going to end this video right now, but please take time to subscribe, hit the like button. Appreciate you guys' time. I'm going to try to do more videos like this, especially on a weekly basis, and kind of get my name out there, and hopefully you guys find value in this, and some sort of entertainment value especially. With that said, thank you so much. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next time.